What is up, party people? And hello, my friends. It's your girl, Welcome to China, and welcome to my channel. And baby, I know that I'm live on YouTube. I know that I have been neglecting my YouTube universe, but I've been heavy on Facebook with me and all my aunties and all my girls. So what's up, Facebook? I am streaming on Facebook too. It is your girl, Welcome to China. Welcome, welcome. I am here. I am on my road actually to 3,000 subscribers. I hit the 2,500 mark last time I was on here, so that's a little misdated. But hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Share the video if you got something to say. And if you have a problem with what I have to say, leave it in the comments. And you guys know how I am. I'll cuss you out. I'm joking. Let's get into it. Chris Brown, Sea Breezy. Listen, I don't even know where to start, but we're going to just dive right into it. We all know Chris Brown didn't get to do the AMAs, the American Music Awards. You know, you got the Billboard Awards, the MTV Awards, the BET Awards, Soul Train, all that fun stuff. But the American Music Awards is a very popular award show, I would say, for everybody overall. I mean, they have like a lot of pop artists. It's very similar to the Grammys. I would say that one is the closest to the Grammys, but it's not a Grammy, it's just a AMA. Not just an AMA, y'all know what I'm saying. But anyway, it's a little more uptight, clean kata, you know, like the BET Awards, which is low-key my favorite, not to be biased, but anyway. So we know Chris Brown was going to do the Michael Jackson tribute. We already know that Chris Brown, over the years after the incident with Rihanna, to me, I think that his career has changed over time. And I was saying this on Facebook when I was getting my discussion going, that Chris Brown's career already had went down from where he was. I mean, he's still up there. He's still best of the best, whatever. Aside from that stuff we'll get to later. But y'all remember when Chris Brown was doing that double mint dance forever, ever, ever, forever? Remember that, the double mint? When he was doing pop music, and Chris Brown just got finished with Wall to Wall, and we seen Chris Brown on all the mainstream shows. After Chris Brown won to Rihanna, we didn't see any more of that. He was off of all of the YT media. Okay, you know what I'm saying? YNT, not Whitey. That's the short, the TikTok. White media. He was accepted in open arms, almost, by the Black community. I'm not going to hold you. I think Chris Brown is similar to the Kanye situation. It's still going to be Black people who like Kanye, and then you still got people of other races and other people who are burning shoes and saying, I can't deal with it. But I have found that more people who look like me, brown people, are the ones that have seemed to forgiven Chris Brown, at least, accepted what he did, not necessarily like it, but say, okay, I like his music. Now, with that being said, should it just matter about the artistry? Can we take that away and just listen to the music? Or does it matter that Chris Brown did this to Rihanna and we shouldn't listen to him anymore? Because I think it would have been as strict and as, let's just say this. Chris Brown and R. Kelly's offenses are not comparable. I think R. Kelly is a file, and Chris Brown is a user. But Chris Brown's career was not over because he wasn't sent to jail. It wasn't a long, drawn-out process in court with him and Rihanna, such as it was with all of the things that Robert was doing over those years. Let me be clear here. Chris Brown's music is still being played in the club. Chris Brown's music is still being played all over. But when it comes to things like this, when we have to give Chris Brown his flowers and say, Chris Brown, here's your AMA. Welcome back to mainstream media. Here's that Grammy. Then everybody's like, no, we remember what you did to Rihanna. And that's not cool. Now, my opinions on this. I have never been a super die-hard Chris Brown fan. When I was younger, I really did like Chris Brown. And I think that after that incident happened, I was like, that's a little weird. I just remember that I don't remember what year this happened. Tell me in the comments what year this happened. But I was still in like elementary, middle school, and it was traumatizing. I had never seen a picture of a woman who was hurt by a man in a domestic way. I have to, it's YouTube online. I have to filter what I'm saying. So that for me was like, whoa, that was a lot. Let me know in the comments if you guys experienced that too. It was a lot for me to see Chris Brown in that picture of Rihanna. Now, over time, it was speculations that we know Rihanna had forgiven him. We know that Rihanna over time I think they did like a remix of a song, something, the cake, cake, cake. She even did cake, cake, cake with him. Yeah, I think it was 2008. Thank you, Livy Rose. I still think that if Rihanna did an interview like Chris Brown did this, that, and the third, it was Rihanna. It's not Rihanna's fault. It's not what I'm saying, but Rihanna forgiving Chris Brown made everyone else kind of be like the people whose minds can be deterred to think that hey, people can change and all that. Because some people, which is the vast majority that I asked on Facebook, was like, no, absolutely not. He cannot be forgiven. He cannot be redeemed. I still think that if Rihanna didn't forgive him per se, that people would maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say that. So I'm not going to say that. If Rihanna was like, hey, did a tell-all interview with Oprah and, did all this, that, and the third back in 08, 07, whenever this happened, a tell-all per se, that it would change people's opinions. Do I think so? No, I think people's opinions are people's opinions. I think that people are going to be biased because they love his music. I mean, when it comes to Nicki Minaj, I'm pretty biased with some things, to be honest. I'm just not a diehard Chris Brown fan. Now, I will say, when I was in Chicago and I was still living there when I got done with undergrad, that was in 2018, so the year 2018, I did, one of my friends, she's a diehard Chris Brown fan, one of my friends from college, and he came and he did like an outside tour. Tickets were like $30. So I went to go see Chris Brown. It was cool. He was a great performer. Let me say this. He is the only person that could cover Michael Jackson. Let me know, since Chris Brown probably wouldn't be able to do a Michael Jackson tribute, and he's the only one closest to Michael Jackson to dance and sing and do all that, unless it's a lady performer. Usher just doesn't give it. I don't really know who else. It wouldn't be a black man. It wouldn't be, we don't have a lot of R&B singers, men who like to sing, dance, and do all that. Like, everybody. Chris Brown's situation was 2 decades ago. If that was, yeah. So that was it was a long time ago. It's not quite 2. It's probably like 15, 16 years ago. I don't know. I'm bad with math. You judge me if you want to. That being said, it's been at least 15 years. I still have only seen Chris Brown on urban platforms with other people of color. I haven't seen him do any movies. I haven't seen him do any major commercials or anything. I just haven't seen that. So I do think it's something to it. I think that people still listen to his music and we hang out with people listening to Chris Brown and Chris Brown is still Chris Brown, but people are still upset at Chris Brown. So I want to get that out there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share this article because it's been he said, she said about why Chris Brown's the set got canceled. Because we know on Sunday, well, if you didn't know, on Sunday, I'm about to share my screen, Chris Brown actually went on his Instagram and was like, hey guys, not doing the AMAs. And what I gathered from that, Chris Brown was like, this is all or nothing. You're going to say I can do it or you're going to say that I can't do it. He wasn't like, okay, I'll do something else and come back. He's like, no, it's all or nothing. So this is from Distractify, a credible source. And also, I'll go through the IG stuff because they were saying that they didn't want another executive said that Chris Brown and Michael Jackson, they didn't want a woman abuser to represent a child molester. So it was just a mess. And I was like, ooh, that's messy. Anyway, do you think they're doing Chris Brown like they did Michael? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there was nothing proven with Michael, but listen, touchy. Chris Brown was booed at the 2022 AMAs, even though he wasn't in attendance. Here's why. So you guys know Chris Brown won R&B top performer of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't watch the AMAs. I don't know. Whatever. Former teenage pop sensation Chris Brown. They called him a former teenage pop sensation. That's funny. I think Chris Brown is just Chris Brown. Sensation Chris Brown made his debut in the music scene with his self-titled album nearly 2 decades ago. Years since then, he's been America's sweetheart to the bad boy of R&B. Between domestic disputes between exes, Rihanna and Karrueche. I did forget about him and Karrueche. Everyone reminded me. I'm not really into Chris Brown's mix. I do like Karrueche. Chris has been a master making headlines. Only days ahead of the awards, AMAs X'd his performance as fans demanded to know why. Here's what we know. You guys, whether this had to do with Michael Jackson's estate, which is another rumor that I heard, said no. Why are we only hearing of this one day before the performance? The executives and the producers didn't talk to each other? So that's why I'm like, what is it to this? The AMA canceled this. Why are we only knowing with Chris Brown 1 day prior? We didn't talk about this before. If you don't want him, fine. But I mean, hell, that's just not fair now. Why did the AMAs cancel Chris Brown? His Michael Jackson tribute was axed. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary release of Michael Jackson's Thriller. That's cool. We just did that at school. I didn't know that. Chris is a longtime fan of the artist and was set to perform a tribute to the classic project at the AMAs this year. But in last-minute change of plans, his performance was canceled with no explanation. He gave fans a glimpse at the would-be tribute on Instagram. He captioned a previous rehearsal, "You serious?" In the comments, he continued, "This would have been the AMA performance, but they canceled me for reasons unknown." So this is the video that Chris Brown posted. I don't want to get copywritten, but we're going to see. Okay, so yeah, that was him doing the "I don't know, ride it, baby, who can." It's funny, Chris Brown do have a lot of songs, because like when Loyal come on, I can't help myself. I'm not gonna lie. You guys know I'm transparent. The Chris Brown situation for me is tricky. I don't like what he did, but I still like the music, and I do forget. You can't tell me every time y'all listen to Chris Brown, you're like, "Oh yeah, he beat Rihanna." It doesn't come to my mind like how R. Kelly does. I'm just saying. And they still play him on the radio. They don't play R. Kelly on the radio. I'm just trying to see whatever's going on. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Anyway, in the comments, diehard fans questioned it. I remembered that Tank, I think, was questioning it. Whatever. The premiere of Leaving Neverland reignited the old age allegations of child abuse against Michael Jackson, not to mention Chris Brown has been embroiled in quite a lot of controversy. Kelly Rowland. Now, Kelly Rowland is a big Chris Brown fan. She was defending Chris Brown like a couple of years back, like 3 years ago, for some other stuff. So she really likes Chris Brown. So we all know Kelly Rowland tried to shut up the audience. She said, "Excuse me, chill out. Let me go ahead and share my screen for those who didn't see the Kelly Rowland bit." I know majority of us have seen the Kelly Rowland. Do you think that Kelly Rowland should have been defending him? I don't know. You guys let me know. I don't really think it was a defense. I think that she's speaking for the artistry. Can we separate the artistry from the action? I just know over time it's been artists, painters, sculptors, entertainers, actors, singers, dramatists who have done terrible things, but people can't see what they're doing so terrible because their artistry is so good. So I just want to know if we can see past that. Before I share that, let me read some comments. Livy Rose said, "I think Chris Brown fits the bill for performing. I agree. A tribute, I would just prefer his sister Janet do it." Okay, that's a good idea. That is a great idea. Janet a little old. Now I think that Janet could pull it off. That's a good idea, Livy Rose. That's a good idea. That didn't come to my mind. I agree. Usher can beat Usher in a versus. You mean Usher and Usher or Chris Brown? Oh, okay. Sorry, I got you other comments at that. That's what I know. I will say I like Usher's music better. I am an R&B old head. Some of Chris Brown's music be a little too much for me. And I don't think some of Chris Brown's music comes off that like sexy to me. I mean, some people do. Like, people really liked, what was the song Chris Brown had? "I want to take you down." People was really, really getting into like the Take You Down era. And I thought that was like really funny. That was a key. That definitely did not do it for me at all. Like that just didn't do it for me. So yeah, I think Usher's versus Chris Brown's. What was Chris Brown's, like, Loyal? Or what was Chris Brown's first song? Run It? I don't know. I'd give it to Usher. All right, let me pull my screen so we can watch Kelly Rowland. You guys, this is just short and quick. I just want to see what you guys are thinking while I'm sharing my opinions on here. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, okay? Let me share my screen. All right. Kelly Rowland tells everybody to shut up.
And the American Music Award goes to Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown is not here tonight, so I'm accepting this award on his behalf. Excuse me, chill out. But I want to tell Chris, thank you so much for making great R&B music. And I want to tell him, thank you for being an incredible performer. I'll take this award, bring it to you. I love you. Congratulations. And congratulations to all the nominees in this category.
So people was like freaking about this, saying that a black woman, God forbid, a dark-skinned, brown-skinned black woman defend Chris Brown, who's a colorist and who turns down black women at parties and all that. I mean, listen. It is it's at least, I'm not going to say 10, it's at least 5 or 6 brown-skinned women, dark-skinned women who love Chris Brown and don't care that Chris Brown would turn them away at the party. He only like small, ambiguous, and thick, baby, if that. So we know how Chris Brown is bumming. A lot of people just be like, that's Chris Brown. He can get what he wants. It's Chris Brown. He can have whatever he needs. So pick one. Pick one. The people who are speaking the loudest on this are all the freedom fighters, which I appreciate. I'm a freedom fighter myself. The people are like, no, absolutely not. Screw Chris Brown. This cannot happen. No. No, thank you. So, yeah. Oh, Kiss Kiss. I love that song. Yeah, girl, they was born. I'm like, oh, man, okay. So that was what I was gathering so far from the Chris Brown situation. Let me go ahead and go on Instagram and tell you guys what the video. Oh, I got my light up too fast. You guys see I broke my backlight. I think it was the Shade Room or Neighborhood Talk. One of these channels was saying that it was because Chris Brown's skin color and what was they saying? It was a post on Instagram when they were saying that basically they were putting 2 black men against each other because, well, it was just 2 horrible black men and all this because Michael Jackson has these allegations and then Chris Brown has these allegations. Maybe it was on Neighborhood Talk. I'm trying to find it. And I just don't think these 2 offenses are comparable, to be honest. Chris Brown's is true, Michael Jackson's subjective. All this stuff is so touchy. I just think Chris Brown should have did it. Let him be. It is what it is. It's only as deep as you make it. But if people want to go ahead and, hey, stand a chance and say, hey, this ain't right. We can't make this happen. No, thank you. Then, I guess this would be the group of people to do it in this modern day. Oh, I did find the article. All right, let me send this to myself because, so do you guys think it has to do with Michael Jackson's estate saying no? Or do you think that it's the reason because the one that I'm about to tell you that they don't want Chris Brown representing someone who already has a quote unquote bad rap? Let me fill the article. It sounds like I'm just like talking in like subcontext. Sorry, guys. I had to figure out where it was on Instagram because the Shade Room and all those other like IG pages, T pages are different. If you're still here, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about next in the comments. Maybe I'll get back on a little bit later. All right, this is the article. I found it. All right, let me share my screen. All right, this is it right here. Oh, wow. Chris Brown AMA tribute to Michael Jackson was reportedly canceled because executives didn't want a convicted DA to honor an alleged child molester. Says neighbors getting this. Chris Brown sent social media into a frenzy a few days ago when he shared a video of what would have been a 40th anniversary of the album Michael Jackson Thriller. Chris claimed that they canceled his appearance due to unknown reasons. But the founder of Pot.News, Matthew B., says that he knows the reason. So this is another basically platform saying that he got tea. Chris and the award show producers have been working on the tribute for weeks. The producer wanted Chris to perform at the awards and to give him an opportunity to showcase his talents after Chris felt that he had been shadow banned from Hollywood since the Me Too movement. It's funny, Chris Brown's like shadow ban. Chris Brown be kind of doing his own thing, but I think Chris Brown shadow bans himself. I think he still feels bad about what he's doing. We've seen people do worse, like Tory Lanez with the alleged Megan Thee Stallion mess. We've seen other people do horrible things and still try to be in our faces. So I wonder if Chris Brown is like, maybe I shouldn't do this or be around these certain people because they may feel this way. I don't know. Baloney claims that it smells like baloney. Claims that when he caught one of Chris Brown's performance, he immediately contacted higher ups at Disney and ABC about the optics of the performance. He says that the prospect of a convicted DA being feting a alleged child on a Disney network wasn't the best idea. The higher ups didn't even know Chris Brown was performing until they told them. Once the executives found out the performance, they immediately told producers to cut the tribute as a whole. That just shows that they be like they got these old rich white men and higher ups and executives in music. They don't even know. You telling me that they don't even know? They didn't say, okay, just let me see the itinerary real quick. Are you serious? What? And this man went and snitched. It is what it is, but dang. The producers were reportedly furious at the decision because they knew the backlash they would receive after calls of multiple executives through the country, and they decided Chris could still perform. So what I'm gathering it sounds like that they did try to talk about this, but they were still like, no, because when you get into Disney and all that, they're like, But he couldn't do the tribute because it would be too radioactive. So that means, are you gathering that they tried to do something with this or not? I don't know. They tried to come up with an alternative plan, but Chris said it's all or nothing for him. Either he does the performance as planned or he won't perform at all. So he didn't perform and posted the rehearsal on Instagram. In conclusion, the network canceled Chris Brown's performance. There's two problematic artists being mentioned on the network at the same time. And this all came because Matthew B., who made the initial call, y'all better go get Matthew B. Y'all better go get Matthew B. Okay, because Chris Brown better send him the hiatus, Matthew B. He was snitching, man. That's crazy. Crazy. But that seems like that's the tea. Livia Rose says, I feel like it is a mixture of both. Maybe the estates think the same. Public, I don't know. I mean, I haven't found the estate article yet, but one of my friends who I do believe who read that it was about the estate is just his family saying yes or no, approving things. So they could probably say no, but again, I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky, and I don't think we'll ever get an answer. I think Chris Brown needs to start to come out if he doesn't want this to keep getting this rap. He got to start to come out and say something else again to regain his career because it is a shadow banning going on. Imagine if this didn't happen. Chris Brown would have been Michael Jackson status, maybe, but Chris Brown always had a tough life even before Rihanna. I feel like people would treat it like him, Marilyn Dress. I know people would have favored it well. Well, people were excited. Are you talking about Chris Brown? Or, you talking about, okay. I think you're talking about the Chris Brown and the Michael Jackson, that people wouldn't have liked it. I think it's hit or miss. I think it's some people who love Chris Brown. A lot of people. He has a really big, diehard fan base who would still support him and wanted to see it. I mean, I would have watched it. We all would have been like, this is crazy. He did a good job. I would have liked to see that. And maybe in another magnitude, another network. Do you guys think another network would try to give this a try and give it to Chris Brown? I mean, I'm sure BT will do it next year or another network, but he's not going to be on a Grammy platform. Has Chris Brown performed in the Grammys since 2008? Curious about that too. I'm gonna have to do some more research, guys, because like I said, I'm not like a big oh, I love you, Chris Brown. I don't even think Chris Brown is he's attractive, but he ain't my type of guy anyway. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should Chris Brown be canceled? Should he be forgiven after all these years? They already got him off of the AMAs. They said, bye, Chris. Not gonna have you. Peace out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button before I get out of here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you send me a comment in the comments if you'd like. And that's right. Chris Brown has been on the radar for a long time. That's what I'm saying. It's just a lot to it. And you guys, let me know what you guys want me to talk about next. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm happy that I got back on YouTube, even just for a little bit to talk about this Chris Brown drama. And I will see you guys later and have a good holiday. See you guys later. Bye.